Hello all. I'm going to engage the next session for the software engineering. This is the fourth session on the software engineering. Welcome to this session. In this session we are going to discuss about the software process, one of the important bit in your software engineering. Okay, let's start from beginning. So in today's session we are going to cover the two important topics. One is software process model and process activities. I am going to cover in only software process model. If possible, there are total 3 sections are there. We try to cover one session fully. Okay, exactly. The software process. We all know that for developing any software or application, we should go through a process. Okay, so to do anything or to achieve anything, you have to complete one of the process. So in the software engineering also there are some of the process are there. A structured set of activities required to develop a software system. Okay, to achieve something, to get something, we have to go for the one of the structured set of activities. Okay, so many different processes are available, but all they involve these major 4 bits. One is specification, what exactly the system have to be do, or defining what the system should do. Next comes the design and implementation, defining the organization of the system and implementing the system. Okay, in the design, in the process of designing and implementation, what exactly we are going to design and how exactly we are going to design. So it is nothing but the one of the architecture. Next comes the validation, is nothing but the testing, or it is going to also test that what exactly the customer going to want. When it comes to the evolution is nothing but the maintaining, and with respect to the changing needs of the customer, we have to maintain our software or a application. Okay, a software process model is an abstract representation of a process. It represents a description of a process from some particular perspective. Okay, it is one of the model which represent the entire process from the beginning, from the scratch to the end, from the beginning to the development phase. Okay, so this is all about the software process. Okay, software process description. When we describe and discuss the process, we usually talk about the activities in this process, such as specifying a data, specifying the model, designing a user interface, and the ordering of these activities, how many people are going to involve, what is the work of those. So it is nothing but we describe and discuss, we usually talk about the activities. That is nothing but what exactly the task we have to complete, and who is going to perform the which task. Okay, next comes the process description. May also include products which are outcome of the process. Sometimes what is going to happen, we are developing some of the application or a software, some of the products are going to occur, and those are nothing but the outcomes. So again, when it comes to the outcome, we have to think about that product marketing along with the maintaining. Next comes the roles, which reflect the responsibilities of the people involved in the process. So to complete any process, to achieve any application, to take any software, how many peoples we required. So what will be the roles? That is nothing but we are following the hierarchy from top to bottom, or sometimes we have to go from bottom to top. Next, pre and post conditions, which are which are statements that true before and after the process activities that has been encapsulated or a product produced. So in this, what is going to happen, what will be the precondition, what will be the post conditions. So these all things are going to come under the process description. Okay, there are 2 types of a process phase. One is plan driven and another is agile process. So plan driven process are process where all the process activities are planned in advance and process is measured against this plan. So plan driven is nothing but we are going according to the plan. Okay, each and everything is planned, each and everything is documented, and next we are checking the progress and we are checking the process activities with respect to our plan. So in the agile process, what is going to happen, planning is incremental and it is easier to change the process reflect changing the customer requirement. It is a vice versa of the plan driven. In the plan driven, everything is planned. In agile process, what is going to happen with respect to the customer need, with respect to changing some of the activities, we are going to change that process. So one is plan driven, one is agile. We are going to according to plan, but usually being an engineering, there is a process, it is a very difficult for go according to the plan and execute it. So that time we are following agile process. With respect to the change, we are going to change the things. Okay. Next comes the most practical process include the elements of both the plan driven and agile approaches. So usually what is going to happen when you develop any process, we have to follow this plan driven as well as process. Why plan driven means without any proper documentation, without any plan, it is difficult to achieve anything. So first we are going for the plan driven. In something we are feeling something we have to change here, we have to modify that. That time we are going following the agile process. Next, there is no right or wrong software process is available. Only thing is that what the customer is required and what he exactly wanted to develop. If you achieve that, then that process is perfect. So you should not we should not say that there is a no particular software process is correct. Okay, understood? So this is all about the software process, plan driven, agile and all the things. Next we are going for the one of the important, that is software process models. Okay, this is a very important topic. Please concentrate here. So there are a total three process models are there. One is waterfall model, next one is incremental model, and another was a spiral model. So the waterfall model comes under the plan driven model. Separate and distinct phases of specification and development are there. So the waterfall model comes under the plan driven, and where the incremental development process model comes under the specifying, development and validation. These are the three important activities, or we are going to call it as a process of the incremental development. Fine. So let's see one by one the waterfall model. Please concentrate here. By as the name suggests, it's a waterfall model. We know that if suppose the water is falling from the high, so it is following the step by step procedure. The same way we people are going for the approach one of the waterfall model. So in the waterfall model, what is going to happen? Just a second. It's okay. Fine. Initially what each and everything is because it is a plan driven. So when it comes to the plan driven, everything is proper documented. So this is very important and very easy. Just concentrate here. So first this waterfall model is divided into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or more than 5 number of phases. So the first phase is requirement definition. Next phase is system and software design. Next phase is implementation and unit testing. Next step is integration and system testing, and last one is operation and maintenance. So this is the first basics life cycle model for the achieving or doing something in software engineering. Many of the process or many of the software engineering follow this waterfall model. So first let's see the requirement definition. So before going to to develop anything, we should get the requirements. To develop any of the application or any of the software, first we have to collect the requirements. That requirements is nothing but we have to making a proper documentation. Take an example of Gmail itself. So in the mail, what is the first requirement? There should be a username and there should be a password. So this is the basic requirement. So we are collecting it, and next once we log in, we are going to get the n number of tabs. Okay, sent atom is there, compose is there, inbox is there, next archive message is there. So there are n number of fields are there. So first we are going to collect for developing any process, first we are going to collect the requirement definition. That is nothing but collecting the requirements and making the proper documentation of it. Okay, so once we collected the requirement, the what we are going to do, the output of this requirement definition, will be input to the next phase, that is nothing but the system and software design. Okay, so once we collected the all the requirement definition, whatever the outcome is there, that will be input to the system and software design. Okay, so in the system and software design, once we get to know that what are the requirements, next we are thinking what type of hardware we required, what type of software we required, and which system process we are going to follow it. Okay, so those things comes under the system and software design. What are those? What are the software requirements, what are the hardware required, and what will be the system design, that is nothing but a blueprint. Okay, so once we have collected requirements, once we know the our blueprint, next we are going for the implementation and unit testing. Okay, so what is going to happen once we get the blueprint? So what we are doing, we are dividing into small unit. Okay, a big large program is there, that large program we are dividing into small modules. The same thing we are doing here in the implementation and unit testing. First what we are doing, we are implementing small units, that is we are going to call it as a modules. And once we are done with the implementation of a small unit, next we are individually testing these modules. Okay, so this comes under the implementation and unit testing, unit wise testing. When you people are approaching any of the software, so what you are going to do, or any of those simple program, so first you are going to divide into n number of modules. Okay, next you are checking individual modules, and once the implementation and unit testing is done, next outcome of this will be next input to the next thing, that is integration and system testing. What is integration and system testing? So already you people have developed a small unit, just combine these all the things and make a testing of it. Okay, so this is nothing but the your entire program is going to execute or not. Once it is execute, next phase comes under operation and maintenance. What is operation and maintenance? Here you are checking that it is able to meet the customer requirement or not, that is nothing but the your software is ready to deliver. And once you are done with the delivery, next you have to check that operation and maintenance are going to occur correctly or not. Okay, so here in the last phase what is going to happen, it comes to the maintenance. So starting phase is requirement, next comes the system and software design process, implementation and unit testing, integration and system testing, and last one is operation and maintenance. Okay, if anything you want to change in this entire process, so we have to follow, we have to send again, you have to collect the requirements. Okay, once the again gather the requirement, go for the system and software testing, next implementation and unit testing, next integration testing, and finally delivery of that particular software process. Okay, so sometimes what is going to happen, so you have to follow this all the process one by one. So this is the waterfall model. So what will be the advantages of this model? Okay, this is the same thing which I explained here: requirement analysis and definition, system and software design, implementation, unit testing, integration and operation and maintenance. So first, before going to discuss about the advantages, we discuss the main drawback. The main drawback of the waterfall model is very difficult of accomplishing the changes after the process is underway. So to explain this, just imagine that a big project is there, and big project is there, and you people are almost in the integration and system testing. So there you people are feeling that this system, whatever the integration, whatever the modules we people have created, that is not going to deliver our expectation, not going to meet the expectation. That time again we have to follow from the beginning itself. So this is the difficult when the system is complex, the software is software process is complex, and it is huge. That time the waterfall model is going to fail. Okay, and what will be the advantages? So advantages that this is very easy. One of the system, when the system is less, that time we can say that the waterfall model is going to work. This is the basic for life cycle for the waterfall model. And what is important is that we most important thing is that we people are going for the step by step. So you can't feel, being a software app engineer or a app developer, you can't feel the heat, that is this is the overloaded and all the things. So for that purpose the software the waterfall model is easy. Okay, so few of the points regarding about the waterfall model. Inflexible partitioning of the project into distinct stages makes it difficult to respond to changing the customer requirement. Again the same thing, if you are at the last phase and you want to change something, then you have to scratch from the beginning. Okay, the waterfall model is mostly used in for the large system engineering projects where the system is developed at the several sites. So usually is nothing but the divide and conquer rule. Divide the n number of your project into n number of group and get the work done. In those circumstances, the plan driven nature of the waterfall model helps for the coordinating the work, because we people are following the plan driven architecture or plan driven method. For that purpose it is going to be very easy, and this is one of the important question for your external and as well as internal point of view. If you have any doubts, let's discuss in the interaction class. Thank you.